I'm Jeff Gianola.
And I'm Kelly.
For care they don't need, and you're paying the bill. A millionaire balloonist fails again to reach his dream, the harrowing end to Steve Fawcett's adventure. The new drug being marketed to women for a disease that may not even exist. We'll take a closer look. And the Marines, who gave hope to a nation in its darkest hour. After nearly 60 years, the Raiders are finally home.
From ABC News World Headquarters in New York, this is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings. Sitting in tonight, Charles Gibson.
Good evening. The Western wildfire season is now becoming a military operation. Troops are on their way to the fire lines where firefighters need all the help they can get. As quickly as some fires are extinguished, new ones break out. 8 states now have active major fires. But now more communities are being threatened, and some people caught near the fires have had to be rescued. ABC's Bill Redeker is in Washington State tonight, where the forecast, Bill, I gather, is not promising.
Not at all, Charlie. In fact, a red flag warning has been posted for these mountains and the surrounding communities, which means that winds exceeding 20 miles per hour are breathing life into the fire.
Today, new fires were ignited by dry lightning, and old fires devoured more land. 600,000 acres in 8 states. More than half of the fires in Oregon and here in Washington.
This wind event is projected to continue through the weekend, and that's going to give us some problems.
At this fire near Leavenworth in northeastern Washington, about 1,500 homes could be in harm's way. Mandatory evacuations have been issued in some areas. These backpackers were helicoptered off the mountain and reunited with their families today.
You could see the glow at night and then watch the fires build.
And it was just a nice show from where we were.
Reinforcements are on the way. In Charlotte, North Carolina, the Air National Guard departed for the Northwest today. And at Fort Lewis in Washington, more National Guard troops were dispatched. They will soon be followed by 2 Army battalions and Marines. On Monday, the nearly 1,000 active duty soldiers will be trained by these Forest Service instructors.
Normally I do this in 3 days, and we're going to do it all in half a day.
All right, guys.
Whoa!
Why has it taken so long to call in the military?
It's a very expensive proposition to train and deploy the military, and if we don't need to do that, we don't want to do that, we try to be responsible with the taxpayers' dollars.
They need to do it now because the fire threat is high in mountain communities like Leavenworth, which are crowded with summer tourists.
As an indication of just how important the weather has become, 16 forecasters from the National Weather Service are being dispatched to various fire zones. And I should say, Charlotte, the forecast for this weekend is becoming critical.
All right, thanks very much. Bill Redeker in Washington State. The Ford Motor Company is cutting 5,000 white-collar jobs. That's 10% of the company's salaried workforce. Most of the reductions will be through retirements. It's just one more sign of what a terrible year it has been for Ford. But it's not just Ford. The American auto industry as a whole is hurting. Here's ABC's Dan Harris.
The nation's #2 automaker is blaming the cuts on the slowing economy, increased competition, and the costs of the Firestone tire recall. Ford's president and CEO, Jacques Nasser, spoke to a Detroit radio station this morning.
As difficult as this decision was for us and for me personally, it is needed for the long-term strength of the company.
The long-term strength of the entire U.S. auto industry is now in question. Sales are down, and competition from the Japanese, Koreans, and Europeans is intensifying.
This is deja vu all over again. I mean, you're telling me the big 3 are losing because the Japanese are more efficient and have better product, and that's simply the case. Even after all these years, they have better product and they're more efficient.
The big 3 U.S. automakers have seen their market share decline from 83% in 1970 to 73% in 1995 to 64% this past July. The larger concern that as the auto industry goes, so goes the whole economy. Nearly 5% of the U.S. economy is wrapped up in the auto industry, either directly or indirectly. The big 3 are mobilizing, shaking up their managements and restructuring their companies. But the foreign automakers have a tidal wave of product aimed at the U.S. consumer, and they're prepared to sell it cheap if necessary. So today's job cuts may not be the last. Dan Harris, ABC News, New York.
In the national briefing tonight, the news from Ford and some other disappointing reports about corporate earnings and investors selling. The Dow Jones Industrial Average today was down more than 151 points to close at 10,240. For the week, the Dow was down 175 points. The NASDAQ was down 63 points today to close at a new 4-month low. It lost 89 points for the week. In Kansas City today, prosecutors have filed papers which say that a pharmacist charged earlier in the week with diluting chemotherapy drugs has admitted to doing it out of greed to increase his profits. The government is still trying to determine how many people may have been harmed by pharmacist Robert Courtney. A television story tonight that demonstrates how advertisers may influence what you see. The CBS network has decided to drop rerun episodes of a popular series because a big advertiser, Procter & Gamble, said it would not place commercials in the show. Here's ABC's Neil Karlinski.
When actress Dana Delaney told friends to watch her on an episode of Family Law on CBS this week, she was puzzled when the show didn't air.
Did you tell the boys that there was a gun in the safe? I thought maybe if I didn't tell them about it, then they wouldn't be curious.
CBS temporarily pulled the rerun because one of its biggest advertisers, Procter & Gamble, doesn't want to mix its soap and toothpaste products with issues including the death penalty, abortion, and interfaith marriage.
I think CBS, in a down economy, saw an opportunity to assuage the feelings of one of their major advertisers.
A Procter & Gamble spokesperson says the company did not ask CBS to pull the show. But in a year of slumping ad revenues, analysts say this is an example of how an important advertiser can control what you watch by steering advertising dollars towards content they like.
It's a subtle kind of coercion. We're not going to advertise, which of course is the right of the sponsor, and then the network draws its own conclusions from that, and that's the danger.
Procter & Gamble has a one-year, $300 million advertising deal with CBS parent company Viacom. That deal effectively gives Procter & Gamble more weight than other advertisers. In a statement, CBS said today it does not program its network based on directives from advertisers. CBS says the episode of Family Law, which was nominated for an Emmy, will eventually air this fall with a different advertiser. Neil Karlinski, ABC News, Los Angeles.
A surprise announcement from the White House today. The man who President Bush chose to run his Office of Faith-Based Social Programs is stepping down after just 6 months on the job. The so-called faith-based initiative is a centerpiece of Mr. Bush's domestic agenda. ABC's John Cochran is with the president at his ranch in Crawford, Texas. John DeUlio is this man's name, John, and 6 months is a pretty short tenure. So what does it say about the president's faith-based program?
Says it's in trouble. You know, he was never trusted by Republicans because he's a Democrat. They never trusted him. On top of that, both liberals and Democrats did not like the idea, many of them, of the federal government giving money to religious groups for any reason. So the president must now look for someone else to sell his program.
So what does the president do? How much trouble, A, is the program in on Capitol Hill, and what options does Mr. Bush have?
Barely got through the House. It's going to be in trouble in the Senate, which means, however, that the president does have a fallback plan if it loses. It's the plan that Bill Clinton often used called executive action. He would simply order federal agencies to do everything they can to help religious groups without the approval of Congress, Charlie.
All right, thanks very much, John Cochran, who is in Texas tonight. A record-setting adventure is over. A dream has gone unfulfilled. The millionaire Steve Fawcett has failed in his 5th attempt to circle the world alone in a balloon. Here's ABC's Bill Blakemore.
After making it more than halfway around the globe, Fawcett landed at a cattle ranch in southern Brazil today.
We saw the weather forecast this morning that there was going to be a lot of trouble in the South Atlantic, and we thought the risks were too great.
He had a terrifying landing and described it today over the phone.
I dragged for about a mile, bouncing along, and then finally I used the cable cutters to cut away the balloon away from the capsule.
Fawcett began 13 days ago in Australia and made it 12,258 miles. That's the second longest balloon flight ever, the longest solo flight, and the longest in an unpressurized capsule. 3 years ago, Fawcett almost died when his balloon plunged 29,000 feet into shark-infested waters. The mild-mannered 57-year-old loves taking risks, and he uses the fortune he earned trading soybean futures to indulge that passion. After an ordeal that would terrify any normal person, Fawcett seemed nonplussed today, even relaxed.
Yes, I'm in good health. but it is one of the greatest disappointments of my life.
Is he crazy, some people ask? Fawcett has always said he wants to achieve some distinction in his life. It is an unusual way to spend your golden years. Bill Blakemore, ABC News.
In the overseas briefing today, the first of a small contingent of NATO troops began arriving in Macedonia on a mission to collect weapons from ethnic Albanian rebels. NATO put off a final decision today on whether to deploy the full 3,500-member force, which would include Americans. In China, 4 suspected members of the banned Falun Gong spiritual movement were jailed for organizing a mass suicide attempt in Beijing earlier this year. 2 people, including a 12-year-old, did die after setting themselves on fire, and China has used the incident to discredit the organization. When we come back, the children used as pawns in a massive scam to defraud Medicaid. Selling a new drug that's not really new to treat a condition that may not exist.
There's a tremendous amount of pressure to keep those sales up. It's a drug in search of a disease.
We'll take a closer look at that. And a final tribute, the daring Marines who sustained a nation during the darkest days of the war.
This is World News Tonight with Peter Jennings, brought to you by Office Depot.
At Office Depot, we're helping America's schools get the supplies they desperately need. Because now, when you buy school supplies at Office Depot, we'll give back 5% of your purchases to any school of your choice for more pens, notebooks, and paper, which means more surprise quizzes, book reports, essays, math tests, and homework assignments that can help our children succeed. Isn't that great? Office Depot, helping schools take care of business.
So, Flo, Tums Ultra or Pepsid Complete?
Dose for dose, Tums Ultra neutralizes twice as much acid as Pepsid's antacid. Yet the Pepsid costs much more.
Tums, Harry. You can feel better now and save enough to leave a nice big tip.
Tums. Life is like a sport. The impact of each step impacts more than just your feet. But new Stride Guard insoles absorb 50% more heel impact than these Dr. Scholl's. Take more impact in stride. New Stride Guard insoles.
Gotta go right now. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. Gotta go right now. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go.
I have to go now.
If an overactive bladder makes you go and go and go, go to your doctor and ask about Detrol LA.
Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go. Gotta go, gotta go, gotta go.
Just one daily dose works for 24 hours to help control bladder contractions that cause those sudden urges and reduces accidents and bathroom visits.
Right now? Hey, I don't have to go.
Prescription Detrol LA. Individual results may vary. You shouldn't take it if you have certain kinds of stomach, urinary, or glaucoma problems. The most common side effects are dry mouth, constipation, abdominal pain, and headache.
And I don't have to go right now.
Ask your doctor about Detrol LA for overactive bladder when you've always got to go.
In Florida, authorities have uncovered a scam in which thousands of children were used to defraud the state's Medicaid program. Police say the children, mostly from the state's poorest neighborhoods, were recruited for unnecessary visits to dental clinics. ABC's Jeffrey Kaufman is tonight on the money trail.
The Briggs children were alone at home when a woman named Joyce Bryant came to the door and persuaded them to come with her to the dentist.
Miss Bryant made her way to my back door and entered my home and told my kids, come on, let's go, you're going to the dentist.
But Iris Briggs had never given permission, which explains why Briggs' 15-year-old daughter, Carissa, was offered $5 to forge her mother's signature on a Medicaid consent form.
They cleaned my teeth and they gave me a feeling right there.
This state surveillance video shows dental recruiters combing poor neighborhoods in South Florida, enticing children to visit special dental clinics. Authorities say the recruiters were paid $25 or more for each child they brought into a clinic. Often parents didn't even know it was happening. If the children weren't induced with money, it was Big Macs. And in some cases, the dental providers weren't even qualified.
These clinics have actually opened for one reason, to defraud the government of the state of Florida and the United States out of Medicaid dollars, not to help out the children.
So far, Florida police have arrested more than 100 dental recruiters and dentists. The government estimates up to 5,000 children were used in this scheme to defraud Medicaid of at least $20 million.
In this room, there would be generally 3 dentists and 9 assistants.
The state says former dentist Joel Berger is the ringleader in the scheme. He's been charged with racketeering and fraud.
I made the finest, cleanest dental office available to poor children.
An office that made Joel Berger very rich and now may put him behind bars. Jeffrey Kaufman, ABC News, Miami.
Later in this broadcast, the World War II Marines who came home 59 years later. And when we come back, a powerful and profitable drug takes on a new name to combat a questionable disease.
I'm every man.
And every woman who ever suffered from frequent, persistent heartburn.
If you've treated your heartburn and changed your diet, but the pain comes back 2 or more days a week, then you may think you know about acid reflux disease.
But there's something about acid reflux that I didn't know.
Over time, that acid churning up can wear away the lining of your esophagus.
I didn't know.
I didn't know.
I didn't.
Now the makers of Prilosec introduced their new purple pill, Nexium. Just 1 prescription Nexium a day gives many people complete resolution of heartburn symptoms.
That could mean complete heartburn relief.
And Nexium is also proven to heal erosions in the esophagus caused by acid reflux. Only a doctor can determine if you have this damage. Other serious stomach conditions may still exist. The most common side effects of Nexium and Prilosec are headache, diarrhea, and abdominal pain. So talk to your doctor and call this number for more information and for a free trial certificate for Nexium.
Relieve the heartburn, heal the damage. It's possible with the new purple pill called Nexium.
Guys, did you get everything?
Yep. They even had his school supply list.
Pencils?
Number 2s, 10-pack.
Backpack?
At Staples, we have teacher-supplied back-to-school lists, so you'll find everything in one place at everyday low prices.
Honey, what's that?
It's a multi-function flatbed all-in-one printer, copier, fax machine, scanner.
Not on the list.
School supply lists. Staples. Yeah, we've got that.
For a book report or something.
Talk to your doctor about Zocor. Zocor, be there.
Looking for a quiet moment? Get a quieter cookie. Soft, fruit, chewy Fig Newtons. Time out from the everyday crunch.
Being first is never easy. Will I make it? Will I be laughed at? Will it be worth it?
We're going to take a closer look tonight at a drug in search of a disease. At least that's how one medical ethicist has described Sarafem. Sarafem is a drug approved by the FDA last year, and it has been aggressively marketed as a cure-all for the most severe type of premenstrual syndrome, which affects more than 4 million American women. The problem is Sarafem is not new, and the condition it's being advertised to treat might not even exist. Here's ABC's Michelle Norris.
A week before my periods, what does it look like? I get super moody.
It's called premenstrual dysphoric disorder, or PMDD, and the symptoms include anxiety, irritability, and depression.
Think it's PMS? Think again.
Drug manufacturer Eli Lilly launched a $30 million marketing campaign to inform women about their new drug that promises relief.
It's good that finally this condition has been recognized and that there are treatments available and that women have a choice.
However, Sarafem is not really a new drug. It's just a new name for the popular antidepressant Prozac, now repackaged with a distinctly feminine look. Some accuse the drug manufacturer of trying to create a new market for Prozac by grossly exaggerating premenstrual problems.
Here we've got a biological event. It may make people unhappy, but it's not clear that anything dysfunctional is taking place.
Fueling the debate, Sarafem's marketing blitz started just before Eli Lilly lost its exclusive patent to sell Prozac, a drug that generates $2 billion in sales each year. With Serafem, the company obtained a new patent, and for now they are the only company that can market a treatment for PMDD.
The company says the timing was a coincidence, but not everyone is convinced.
There's a tremendous amount of pressure to keep those sales up. It's a drug in search of a disease.
Research sponsored by Eli Lilly shows the disease affects 3 to 5% of menstruating women. Even so, there are concerns that Serafem perpetuates the myth that women can't handle life's challenges without first popping a little pill.
We thought we learned back in the 1950s when Valium was being handed out like candy to women far more than to men, that this was oppressive.
Despite the debate, Serafem sales have skyrocketed, and Eli Lilly holds the exclusive patent on this repackaged form of Prozac until the year 2007. Michelle Norris, ABC News, Washington.
There is one other item in the medical file to mention tonight. In Atlanta, a 71-year-old woman has died of the West Nile virus. It has killed 9 people in New York and New Jersey since 1999. The virus carried by mosquitoes from birds to people. When we return, the long-delayed homecoming and a last goodbye for men who fought and died in World War II.
Yeah, that was a pretty good little bunch of boys. It was all young, you know, and all gung-ho, as they say.
I don't want to go jogging. I don't want to play hockey. All I want are nights with less pain, mornings with less stiffness, so Bo and I can go out early and catch up with all our friends.
Vioxx is here, a prescription medicine for osteoarthritis pain. With one little pill a day, Vioxx can provide powerful 24-hour relief. Vioxx specifically targets only the COX-2 enzyme, a key source of arthritis pain. People with allergic reactions such as asthma to aspirin or other arthritis medicines should not take Vioxx. In rare cases, serious stomach problems such as bleeding can occur without warning. Tell your doctor if you have liver or kidney problems. For more information, talk to your doctor about once-daily Vioxx for the relief of osteoarthritis pain. And you may be able to plan your day around your life instead of your pain. Ask your doctor if Vioxx is right for you. Vioxx for everyday victories.
We chose white because it was
clean
and simple.
I just wanted a splash of color.
Kind of kooky, with a lot of pizzazz.
Different strokes for different folks, all at one store.
Went to Home Depot, now I'm painting.
I can help you do that. I can show you how.
Okay. Gluten for my girls' room.
You can do it.
That's easy.
Yeah.
That's all Bear right there.
I love Ralph Lauren. This looks good.
Thank you.
I'm so glad I went to Home Depot first.
The Home Depot.
Who'd you expect? Bob Dole?
Follow Mark Martin and the Viagra racing team this season.
Get to your doctor for a checkup and find out if a free sample of Viagra is right for you.
And for more information right now, race over to Viagra.com.
What is possible? Does achievement discriminate? Or does it open its doors to everyone?
K2 is the breaking news station. We deliver breaking news directly to you wherever you are. Watch it on your television, download it to your handheld, dial in with your web-enabled cell phone, and have it delivered to your email with eAlert. Wherever life takes you, K2 brings you the news. K2 is the breaking news station.
At Arlington National Cemetery, a somber ceremony this afternoon for 13 American servicemen who came home after almost 60 years, and it was a long way home. A mission for the U.S. Marine Corps took them to a remote island in the South Pacific in 1942. They've been missing ever since, and their families have been waiting for this day. ABC's John Martin is at Arlington.
They were called Raiders, an elite force of Marines, and when their remains arrived at Andrews Air Force Base this week, it was the start of an emotional homecoming. They were returning from another time, the South Pacific in 1942, the early dark days of World War II. More than 220 Raiders had sailed by submarine to attack Japanese-occupied Butaritari Island, 2,400 miles southwest of Hawaii. Mission: divert attention from the U.S. invasion of Guadalcanal. The commandos killed 83 Japanese, but could not escape quickly. High surf pinned their rafts to the shore.
There was 5 guys killed around me, and my good friend Daniels got shot all to hell.
9 Raiders were captured and later executed on another island. 19 men died in combat, and their bodies were left behind.
A good life cut short, yeah.
Even so, the attack was so daring, it gave hope to Americans at a time when almost all the battles were being won by the Japanese. One of the Raiders was the president's own son, James Roosevelt, who survived.
Yeah, that was a pretty good little bunch of boys. It was all young, you know, and all gung-ho, as they say.
In 1943, Hollywood made a movie, Gung Ho, celebrating the raid and remembering the dead.
Yes, sir. Have you seen transport? Yes, sir. You won't be going back with us, sir.
But the Marines never gave up hope of bringing home their comrades. 2 years ago, helped by islanders, anthropologists located a site on the island and started excavating.
When we knew we had that grave site, it was like Christmas for a big kid.
The remains were flown to Hawaii for identification.
Today, the Marines gave their Raiders a final resting place here at Arlington, 59 years to the day they staged their attack.
The families and comrades said it was a fitting final tribute.
It's miraculous, I think, that they ever found them.
If it was me, I'd want to be brought back. So why not them?
A footnote to a battle which helped America begin to believe it could win a war. John Martin, ABC News, Arlington National Cemetery.
And that is our report on World News Tonight. Next week on this broadcast, NASCAR releases its final report on the death of Dale Earnhardt. What will they do to keep it from happening again? We'll take a closer look at the shortage of police in this country and a report on women dying to stay thin, how body image is hurting more than self-esteem. I'm Charles Gibson. We hope you have a good and safe weekend. Good night.
This has been a presentation of ABC News. More Americans get their news from ABC News than from any other source.
Tonight, Jesse Jackson's affair and love child shocked the nation. Now, Karen Stanford, the woman at the center of the storm, breaks her silence to Connie Chung.
What was the overriding reason for keeping the baby?
A 2020 exclusive tonight.
Connecting you to your world. This is K2 News.
Good evening, I'm Paul Lindman. Steve Dunn is off tonight. The unveiling of a plan to fix Portland schools turns into a verbal confrontation. K2's Dan Tilkins in the newsroom and explains how the education crisis team went against the chair of the school board today. Dan?
Well, Paul, everyone agrees some Portland schools are in desperate need of help. The education crisis team thought they and the school board agreed on a solution. It was evident today the two sides are still very far apart. When underachieving students return to Jefferson High and its feeder schools in 4 weeks, what new programs will be in place to help them?
The answer is nothing. Nothing.
That's what fueled this fire between the education crisis team and school board chair Debbie Menashe.
No, we did not agree to Dr. Simon McWilliams as an arbiter.
Well, that's what we agreed to. It's in here. You check out what the minutes say, that there are areas that the expert will decide.
Education crisis team members thought they reached an agreement with Portland schools through an independent education expert to, among other things, create mini reading academies to help struggling students. But board chair Debbie Menashe doesn't think the district is prepared to do that.
I understand the point about the urgency here. But again, I am not willing to permit the district to make promises